Welcome to my YouTube channel Bachelor and Master English. Are you new to this channel? If so, please subscribe it. Today we are discussing a poem by Siegfried Sassoon. The title is The General. In this poem, The General, it is clear that the identity of the persona are soldiers of some sort of English army. On surface level, they were talking about the general. They were even mimicking the way the general greet good morning. On latent or metaphorical level, it could be that soldier was addressing those who glorify the war. There was cheerful tone in the general's first few lines. There was even an exclamation point to signify the cheerfulness of the general. The word swine was used as an allusion to soldiers that are almost living in dug trenches full of mud. There was certainly a rhyme scheme that was followed. The rhyme scheme was A, B, C, C, C. The poem has only 7 lines, which I find the rhyme pattern is the beauty of this poem is its honesty and truthfulness. When I go through the poem, I happen that poet Siegfried Sassoon really fought in the First World War. This poem is not just a poet's expression of the depression that the war has brought. The poem was written by an active participant of the war who experienced the horrors of the warfare firsthand. This poem was done by an individual who had witnessed his friend's head being cracked open by rifle bullets. So let's see. Good morning, the general said. When we met him last week on our way to the line, now the soldiers, he smiled at our most of them dead, and we are cursing his staff for incompetent swine. He's a cheery old card, grunted Harry to Jack as they slogged up to Arras with rifles and pack. But he did for them both by his plan of attack. So you have two stanzas in the poem. The first stanza has 6 lines, whereas the second stanza consists of only 1 line. But even in this line, the last line, the sitting alone speaks volumes. It has a bite to it. Soon has added no hint of heroism in this particular poem, which was typical of Sassoon's later war poetry. Let's see the summary of the poem. A cheerful general, liked by the troops of perceived friendliness, they have no idea that they will die due to the incompetence of this man and those that work for him. The general greets his troops. They arrive in Belgium and northern France ready to fight. That was a week ago. Already most of the soldiers are dead, and those men who survive are cursing the general and his fellow officers for their incompetence. That the general is surprisingly cheery, given that he is matching his men into the fray. This poem ends with Sassoon telling us that both Harry and Jack were killed at Arras, a city in northern France, as a direct result of the general's battle plans. And the analysis. This is very short poem. It has only 7 lines, but this very short poem bitterly satirizes the incompetence of the general who commanded his soldiers during the First World War. that was fought from 1914 to 1918, in which this poem composer uh, Siegfried Sassoon himself involved, and he got the first-hand information of the warfare. Sassoon directs his anger on those most directly responsible for the soldiers' fate. In the poem, the unsuspecting soldiers' praise of the general bluff heartiness. "He's a cherry old car," grunted Harry to Jack. Is contrasted starkly with the results of his incompetence, just as his speech is contrasted with the soldier's cheerful slang. It's the second stanza of the poem. It is sitting alone, and when it speaks the volume, it has a bite to it. Sassoon has added no hint of heroism in this particular poem, which was typical of Sassoon's later war poetry, when writing with a different perception by 1917. The generals breezily repeated greeting, good morning, together with Harry's ironic comment and the brutal ending convey the situation far more vividly than a more elaborate and discursive piece. In this poem, Sassoon directs his anger on those more directly responsible for the soldier's fate. The germ of this brief but highly effective satire seems to have come from an incident in Sassoon's journey to Arras in northern France, when his regiment, the 2nd Royal Welsh Fusiliers, had passed their corps commander, Lieutenant General Maxey. And the general is a short and bittersweet poem, which reflects the feeling of many soldiers who survived battle for a few feet of mud that cost their comrades' lives. Many of their fellow soldiers got the bullets and they lost their lives. But those who luckily survived, and they are telling they that most of their friends, most of their comrades lost their lives because of incompetent general who did not have good plan of attack and defense. And due to their incompetence, due to their lack of good planning and good execution of the planning, they had to lose their life. So that's the main point. That is the key point in the poem, the general that Sassoon is attacking, and the junior soldiers are complaining that the seniors are not doing proper job because of the lack of competence of the senior officers in the war. The juniors had to lose their lives. That's the problem. The title of the poem is about a general who breezily greets a company of men as they move up in the line towards the second battle of Arras. His incompetent planning will lead to their death, but they are unaware about this. Only when most of the soldiers lost their lives, these two friends had conversation, and one told the other that because of the incompetence of this general, their comrade had to lose their lives. And the characters involved in the poem are the soldiers, the narrator, and the general. The general is speaking, and the narrator is also speaking. It has a conversational tone, but satirical tone. The theme of the poem is war and bad or incompetent authorities, heroism of soldiers. These are the themes in the poem. And the symbol, the general is a figurehead for the kind of planning that led to the massive loss of life during attritional war at the Western Front, Arras being particularly the grim example of the human cost of the war. The attitude of the poem is satirical as well as ironical. But he did for them, both by his plan of attack, line number 7, is the most bitterly ironic of the poem. Harry and Jack went back to the front line and were killed because of their obedience to generals' orders. If they had not carried out the orders, if they did not show their obedience to carry the orders, they would not be killed. But uh, everywhere the army rules, the discipline always worked, and because of those incompetent general or senior officers and their commands, their orders, and that caused the life of young juniors who did not they would not lose their life if their seniors were very tactical and well planning and foresight, full of foresightedness. That's the thing. But these general did not. These senior soldiers, senior officers in the war front did not have such competence, did not have such planning, did not have such execution of the planning, and that caused the loss. I'm sure you got the points. And if you have any queries, you can put your comments in my comment box. And I would like you to request, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe my channel and share it as much as possible. Thank you very much.